Good afternoon. Before I start my talk, I would like to respond on what Saskia asked. It is my profession to seek and to find employment for elderly. And the elderly I meet, most of them want to work because they feel the urge to share their knowledge and experience in response on your question. This is my grandfather. He was a jeweler and had a jeweler shop right here in Apeldoorn for over 35 years. Being a jeweler is not only about good salesmanship, you also need skills and craftsmanship to repair a necklace, a ring, or a clockwork. These skills he taught his son, my uncle, and his daughter, my mother. So when he stopped working at the age of 75, his son was able to take over the business. The importance of this little story is that I like you to remember that in those days, it was quite common for a son to follow in the footsteps of his father. The skills and knowledge were almost automatically passed on. How this relates to we economy, I will come to that later. But let's start at the beginning of the we economy. Who do we see here? That's right. This is former Prime Minister Willem Drees, former Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Willem Drees. And I dare to call him the founder of the we economy. In 1946 he came up with the noodwet ouderdomsvoorziening, which led to the Social Security laws in 1957. Social Security refers to the economic security we offer to people who cannot provide their own income, which means we all contribute to provide an economic foundation for a basic income for the unemployed, the sick, and the elderly. And that is what I call the core idea of the economy. We all take care of each other. And we build an economic environment in which everybody has a minimum income. But what is left of the ideas of Vadertje Drees? Do we still feel the same way about his ideas nowadays? I hear a lot of people complaining about the height of the taxes they have to pay over their wages. Let me ask you something. Who of you is an employee or ever has been? Please raise your hand. Up there too. You can sit on the balcony, but I can still see you. So, okay, please keep up your hands if you ever was an employee. And who of you receives or received on a regular basis a payslip? Okay, still a lot. And who of you reads that payslip on a regular basis? Let's say more than once a year. Okay. And who understands what he's reading on his payslip? Okay, I think I've made my point. Let's take a look at a payslip of just a regular John Doe. This is his gross income. And this is his net income. This is what he gets paid on his bank account. This is what he pays for his pension plan. And this is what usually the complaining is about. When someone says, I pay too much taxes over my wages, he means this. We call it the loonheffingen. But this is not all taxes, you know. This is mostly our contributions for the Social Security. This is what we pay for the economy. Let's take a closer look at that. We pay about 6% for the sick. We pay about 6% for the unemployed. And we pay about 18% for the elderly. That's 3 times as high for the elderly as we pay for the sick or the unemployed. And I wondered, why is that? So I'm going to try to explain. But to do so, I have to show you some numbers. And I know it's boring to listen to figures. So I try to keep it brief. So please stay with me. Here we see our national population pyramid, which is, as you can see, no longer a pyramid, but it's called so because a long time ago it was the shape of a pyramid, of a triangle. Between the red lines, we see the population we call the working force. And these are the people that have to bring up the contributions for the social security. And right now, 635,000 of them are unemployed. And approximately 450,000 of them receive an unemployment benefit for the total cost of 900 million euro. Above the red line, we see approximately 3 million elderly who receive an elderly benefit for the total cost of 3.3 billion euro. In Dutch, 3,3 miljard. This explains why we pay triple the amount for the elderly as we pay for the sick. So why do I hear and read every month about the unemployment index? Well, the costs for the elderly are 3 times as high. For so far the figures. The crucial point I want to make today is that in that grey hat, on top of the population pyramid, there is an enormous economic potential. There is a lot of knowledge and experience that still could be used. Remember, the age of retirement is set on 65 back in 1957. Nowadays, someone of 65 is much fitter than in 1957 because of better working conditions and better health care. Most pensionadas between 65 and 70 are still fit enough to work. And more importantly, willing to work. We should make more use of them. In some industries, it's hard to find good educated and well-trained personnel. The skilled and experienced are retiring. And so that industry loses that experience. Nowadays, the profession of the father is no longer naturally passed on to the son. So we should organize that. And in some industries they do. I'd like to show you some beautiful examples of seniors that teach a younger employee on the work spot. The senior uses his experience to bring up the skills of the younger colleague in a master-pupil meeting. At maintenance company Gebroeders van der Plas, Master Frans teaches painter-pupil Anthony all the tricks of the trade. And how about this man, Mr. Riemers? At the age of 68, he still teaches entrepreneurs in the restaurant business all about hospitality. At Brown Cow, a young entrepreneur can hire experienced business advisor. And PUM sends senior experts to underdeveloped countries to help and advise entrepreneurs in new and upcoming markets. I believe that sharing knowledge is the engine of the economy. And where young and old work together, sharing knowledge and experience and passing it on and preserving it for the next generation. Where young and old work together, side by side, like a father and a son, like my grandfather and his son. Then young plus old
makes gold.